right, everybody. Jeff Colson here, Junior Hockey Live on Wednesday. A little early tonight, but I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. Let's get our compadre in here, and that's Mike Bloom. Bloomer, how you doing?
What's up, Jeff? Everything good over there? You're looking
Lions.
sharp, man.
I try. What's the show? Oh, it's your
Traverse City.
Traverse City Red Wings?
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if it's got the year on it. Yeah, it does. 2017. They always have their
Their camp.
training camp and everything
Yeah.
there. I can't remember if I was there for the training camp or if I was there for that prospect tournament that they have, where there's usually like 8 to 10 NHL teams and
Right.
prospects there. But either way, I scored this shirt, so figured I'd throw it on.
Hey, nice shirt. Nice shirt. Hey, we got this is going to be a great show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to take anybody's questions, and we'll take them live. If you can put them on the chat group, that'd be great. Right on the Restream chat. That's part of how you're seeing this right now is through Restream. You can always throw them up on Junior Hockey Advisor discussion, and you can throw them up on Mike Bloom's Facebook page. You can throw it up on the Junior Hockey Live Facebook page. There's all kinds of places you can put it. Your questions. We'll try to get
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we'll try to get to your questions any way we can. I'm going to start with the things that are going on our discussion group because it's been lively today and it's been fun. And I think there's been some great things put on there. I'm going to give you my thoughts right off the bat. We've had this discussion group up for 4 years now. Started right when the pandemic started. Been running really good. Enjoy the heck out of it. We've got between the discussion page and the page itself and the discussion group, the page is at 10,000 people, and the group is pushing 9,000 right now. So there's 19,000 people. There's some overlap, but with that, then you got some other ancillary groups. So with Twitter and with YouTube and all that. So let's just round up to 20,000. So 20,000 people in discussion. But remember, it's always evolving to a new group of parents that come on that weren't there before, that don't have the full amount of information yet. So part of me is I always have to worry about, am I showing too much frustration on answering some questions? Okay, first of all, can we be done with junior hockey as a money grab? Can we be done with main camps are a money grab? Can we be done with pre-draft camps are a money grab? I don't care how much money, in my personal experience, the camp itself that we're involved with, our pre-draft, couldn't pay either one of us enough to cover the amount of hours that we put into developing that camp and to get that camp right. The amount of research into players, the amount of conversation with parents, the amount of conversation with players. And this is just pre-draft. Yes, there's going to be a certain amount. And last year, Mike, how many invitations came out of pre-draft in our situation? Just your rough estimate. I know I invited probably, because we do individual meetings with players at the end, and I probably invited 15 kids.
Yeah. And I think, all these seasons run together, but I think we drafted maybe 3 kids that were in our Chicago pre-draft camp. In years past, that number's even been larger than that. We've tendered kids from our pre-draft camp. So, it is a tool that all of these different teams utilize, some better than others, but, the kids are being seen and they're getting opportunities. So,
you just hit on the road. They're getting seen. Okay, they're in front of actual coaches that can put some time into them. And we've given you plenty of tips and tricks on this broadcast and our Monday night broadcast on how to get better at being seen on the ice during tryouts, showcases, pre-draft camps, main camps. There's tricks to getting seen and being better, getting your exposure to a better level. Okay, let's leave that aside. That's another conversation. Excuse me. What drives me crazy on this right now, am I coming across delayed to you right now, Mike?
Your voice sounds fine, but the movement on the screen and everything is definitely delayed.
Okay. Why don't you talk for a little bit? I'm going to try to fix that
Okay.
or see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different points to hit on from different perspectives that I've had on these camps, and I think I don't know what exact path you were heading down, but when it comes to how these organizations are ran, I don't think people fully realize you know, any of these junior teams, they are not big businesses. And even if you look at the NHL, I think there's like 6 NHL teams in the whole league that are profitable. So imagine what that looks like when you move down to the USHL and the NA and things like that. So my first point is a lot of these owners are not multi-millionaires, billionaires, whatever else. They're thousandaires in some cases. So there's just not an unlimited budget, right? And then you go into the fact that when you look at what these coaches are getting paid, in many cases, if you're in the NA and you're a top quality coach and you've been around experience, what are you making? 60 grand, 70 grand on the higher end, and the assistant coach is probably making 30 or 40. They're not making a whole lot. Um, it's just one, and then you go through the scouting staff. I don't think people realize that most scouts in the NA and the USHL, it's an unpaid position. Um, same thing when you get to GMs and directors of player personnel and things like that. There's not a whole lot of money that goes into these different teams. Um, it's free tuition for these kids to play, so that money is coming from USA Hockey, and it's coming from the concessions and the ticket sales and different things like that. But these buildings aren't 20,000 seat arenas that are getting all this revenue and whatnot. So there really isn't a whole lot of money going around. So that brings me to these different pre-draft camps. So let's just go on the premise that this is a money grab where a team is going to make money off of this camp. If you look at the way the ice costs are at any of these youth organizations, I know here in the Chicagoland area, it's going to be at least 500 an hour or more. So on the conservative end, let's say it's $500 an hour for ice. These teams that come in for a weekend are going to have at least 6 teams. So that's about 15 to 20 hours of ice you're going to need for that weekend. You're talking about at least 10 grand in ice costs. So if you've got 6 teams and 120 kids, you're looking at what, 36 grand for, I don't know how much it's going to cost to get your whole staff to these events, flights, hotels, whatever else, maybe another couple 5 grand or so off of that. So now you're at 15 grand, and the most you're going to make is 36. Now you start talking about the meals, you're talking about the jerseys and different things that they get throughout that weekend that they provide. Um, at the most, what is the team going to make off this? 10 grand, 12 grand. And then what are they going to do? Split it between the two coaches and maybe each of them get an extra 5 grand. I mean, it's such small numbers that, to like run around and keep saying, oh, these are money grabs, don't do it. These teams are making money off this or whatever. Okay, what if they are? How much money are they actually making? No one's getting rich off of this stuff. So it just is, it's so silly that like it kind of aggravates me because you almost, somebody posts like an innocent question about a camp and it just gets showered with negativity and puts a kind of a negative spin on it. And my whole point in this is that either scouts a couple $100 or whatever for what they do. How horrible would that be? You still there, Jeff, or did I lose you?
I'm here if you can hear me.